Today we're tackling a pretty fascinating historical puzzle. We usually think of pre-Islamic Arabia as just pagan, right? But what if that's not the whole story? Well, Islamic tradition tells us about figures called hanifs, pure believers looking for the one true God. And this is where it gets weird. Let's dive into this mystery. Okay, so in Arabic, hanif is a true believer, but right next door in Syriac, karnapa was an insult for pagans. Some scholars think the Quran totally flipped the script, turning an insult into a badge of honor. Now the puzzle gets even deeper when we bring in Abraham, the most famous Hanif of all. See, the Quran is clear. Abraham wasn't a Jew or a Christian. He lived way before both religions. By calling him a Hanif, it creates a direct line back to this original faith, bypassing the others. So we've got a word puzzle and a theological move, but were there actual people living this way? Tradition points to guys like Zayd ibn Amr. He supposedly rejected idols and preached Abraham's faith in Mecca. But here's the big question for historians. Was Zayd a real person, or just a really good story? Maybe his story was written later, to prove that pure monotheism was already in Mecca's DNA. To get to the bottom of this, historians need proof. So they look to the rocks. And we find thousands of old rock inscriptions. We see the name Allah, pagan gods, crosses, menorahs. But you know how many mention the word Hanif from before Islam? 0. None. One historian calls this a deafening silence. If Hanifs existed, they weren't exactly a big, organized movement. So what do we make of this? This is the central problem for historians trying to solve the mystery. The verdict seems to be a mix. A few isolated seekers, plus a really powerful idea from scripture. So was the Hanif a real person or a revolutionary idea? The mystery isn't totally solved. And this is just one piece of the puzzle. It's absolutely key to understanding the world Islam was born into. There are so many more mysteries from this time. To keep digging, check out the other explainers in our series.